I managed to secure a 4K rank in IT as well. Like as soon as we came to campus, all the seniors and random seniors started texting us to come to Rotunda for an interaction. I tried as a front end when I was in Goa campus, but I got a bit bored.
You were in Goa campus?
I have been through all three iterations, Hyderabad, Goa, and Pilani. Then we worked on a game called Battle Bits, which is so we had a BITS model, 3D model.
Also, like as you mentioned, it is more like management stuff also. So does that help in management role if you're applying for like tech management also these positions?
So like मैंने शायद मैंने अपनी डिग्री से नहीं सीखी क्योंकि I've learned through my seniors and peers. So that speaks volume about the department culture which we have. Sponsorship.
So like Costin is like head of the department. You manage every vertical of that particular department.
Yes, yes.
Anything apart from this also?
Yes. So Costin primarily have
there's a tag difference.
So the only advantage this tag gives you.
Do Costins also manage the monetary stuff also of the fest? So you mentioned when you were starting, you joined college because you wanted to do a job, and like BITS is also like quite famous for startup and entrepreneurship culture. So, and like also how do you make a good bond with everyone? Because in case अगर कोई BT में so they are not like Vedant काम ऐसा टाइप.
Hey, this is Nadmi from BITS Pilani, a founder, developer and a creator. I love to code and build things. Recently, I was selected for GSOC 2. You can know more about me from LinkedIn. I've started a podcast series called BITS Gem, a show featuring BITS Pilani folks doing cool stuff in tech, finance, consulting, robotics, academics and beyond. Hope you will enjoy the show.
So hello everyone, today we have Vedant Vyas with us. Vedant, can you give a brief intro about yourself?
So yeah, I am a fourth year, right, 21 batch from BITS Pilani, and I am almost about to complete my degree at BITS. So yes, that's.
And like so, it's almost 4 years. So can you remind why did you choose BITS, JEE Mains, JEE Advanced? What was your journey like?
So like I was preparing heavily for IIT during my 11th and 12th, and I managed to secure a 4K rank in IIT as well, like JEE Advanced. And after that, I wanted to like do a job. So probably that was the reason I was more motivated towards CS at that time, because obviously average packages and stuff.
That too, like
CS का.
that was a boom time, right?
Yes. So everyone was like कि नहीं IIT चले जा, and I'm like कि नहीं, like BITS gives much freedom compared to IITs in terms of acads कि मैं college के time अपने spare time में बाकी चीज़ें खुद से सीख सकता हूँ, which is not covered in the curriculum and which is actually important when you go and work in some company or even for interview preparation as well.
So like once you entered BITS, so there's boom of like department and club culture is also like crazy. So what was your introduction to that?
So like
were there Rotunda interaction at that time also?
Yes, and I would say like even more so like compared to these 4 years, जो अभी मैं रोटुंडा पे देख रहा हूँ उस टाइम पे इससे कहीं ज़्यादा हुआ करता था. Like as soon as we came to campus, all the seniors and random seniors started texting us to come to Rotunda for an interaction. वो लोग numbers कहीं से जुगाड़ के they used to call us, फिर बात करते थे. We had like 2-3 hours conversation with some random senior जिससे हम पहली बार मिले हैं, सारी बातें करते थे. He in between those guys used to ask ऐसा questions जो शायद उनके डिपार्टमेंट के रिलेवेंट हो, एंड उन 2-3 घंटों में शायद तुम्हें पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि तुम्हारा इंटरेक्शन हो गया. तो दिस इज अ कल्चर अबाउट बिट्स विच आई लाइक वेरी मच कि तुम डिपार्टमेंट इंटरेक्शंस के थ्रू बहुत सारे सीनियर्स वगैरह से मिलते हो, एंड इवन इफ यू डोंट गेट इनटू दैट डिपार्टमेंट और इवन इफ यू आर नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट क्लब, यू कैन स्टिल बी इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद देम बिकॉज लाइक यू हैव गॉट द फर्स्ट mover of talking to them.
Like मेरा first interaction भी आपके साथ था random.
हाँ, so yeah, I remember I like came to SR ऐसे door to door interaction and I found you and you said कि you were interested in tech and stuff. So yeah, we had a good conversation at that time. Okay. So that's how the system works at BITS.
So like after coming to the college, then there would be official recruitment task, right? So you applied for DVM and which vertical and like what?
So like I had tried as a front end when I was in Goa campus, but I got a bit bored.
You were in Goa campus?
I have been through all 3 iterations, Hyderabad, Goa and Pilani. So both of them were online, but हाँ उस वक्त मैंने गोवा में midsems भी दिए हैं by the way.
Okay.
So yes, उस वक्त front end I explored, app dev I tried. So I for context I started coding just when I came to college. मेरा उसके पहले कोई coding background नहीं था. तो I was exploring other things, app dev भी explore करा, but Kotlin कर लिया पहले तो obviously. After that when DVM का recruitment आया तो I applied for game dev because I was like fascinated about how things work in game dev, and जब मैंने Unity सीखना start करा तो I liked it very much and the process of programming, and I can see the player interact as I code. तो काफी
So like did you guys also build any game at that time?
Yes, so during my tenure as workforce in my second year we worked on a game called Battle Bits, which is, so we had a BITS का model, 3D model पूरे BITS का, and we made a first person shooter game in that.
After completing your first, second year uh, in BITS and in DVM, like can you brief it both? How are the first 2 years?
Okay. So, as a first year IT in DVM, I was like just freshly recruited, didn't know many people, but I really liked the environment which DVM provided, and which BITS in general provides. That you can talk to your peers, your seniors about stuff, and they like the normal interaction gives you information about the fields in which you are interested in. You start getting more interested, you learn more from them. जितनी कोडिंग शायद मैंने अपने डिग्री से नहीं सीखी होगी उतनी आई हैव लर्न थ्रू माय सीनियर्स एंड पीयर्स, सो दैट स्पीक्स वॉल्यूम अबाउट द डिपार्टमेंट कल्चर विच वी हैव. सेकेंड ईयर वॉज प्रॉपर वर्कफोर्स टेन्योर. सेकेंड ईयर ने मैं बोलूँगा मुझे शायद प्रिपेयर करा है जॉब के 9 to 5 के लिए, बिकॉज उससे कहीं ज़्यादा घंटे ही काम करते थे हम लोग. तो it was a very good experience overall.
So like after your second year, they are POR distribution. So you
Applied for Costin. It's the head of APOGEE. Basically,
Hmm.
it's the Committee of Students for Academic Activities. There are like 9 Costins who are responsible for all the logistics, tech, publicity, outreach, sponsorship.
So like Costin is like head of the department. You manage every vertical of that particular department.
Yes.
Anything apart from this also?
Yes, so a Costin primarily has 2 roles. One is to the fest and one is to his department. So in fest, like majority of the work is, I'd say, like event management, logistics management, BT handling, and a little bit of politics. And in department, since I'm from DVM, so I had tech related work of websites, apps, videos, game.
Okay, so why did you apply for like Costin position? You aren't getting anything. You are investing so much time. Your accounts are getting affected. So why Costin? Are there any benefits?
It depends on the person. Like, see, I'll go as a root cause के हिसाब से. So the thing is, after working 2 years in department and like seeing your seniors manage that position and doing it so well, तुम्हारे डिपार्टमेंट का कैंपस पे एक अच्छा नाम बन जाता है. You feel like you owe whatever you have learned throughout these 2 years to the department, and like it's that one time when you get the opportunity to give it back to the department. Nobody at the time of signing off for POR knows कि उसमें कितना ज़्यादा काम है. जब तुम जाते हो इट्स ऑलवेज अ फैंसी थिंग कि पीपल विल नो यू, पीपल लाइक यू विल गेट टू टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ सो मेनी थिंग्स, यू विल गेट कंट्रोल ओवर सो मेनी थिंग्स. सो लाइक स्टार्टिंग में यही लगता है, बट व्हेन द वर्क एक्चुअली स्टार्ट्स इट्स काफ़ी हेक्टिक. यू हैव टू स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन द कॉस्टा मीट्स एज वेल, इवेंट्स डिसाइड करने के लिए, आर्टिस्ट वगैरह डिसाइड करने के लिए, एंड एज वेल एज डिपार्टमेंट में भी टाइम देना पड़ता है टू सी कि वर्क कहाँ तक पहुँचा है. बाकी डिपार्टमेंट्स के रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से हमारा टेक प्रिपेयर हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, उन टाइमलाइंस के अकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. सो दिस इज़ अ बिगर पिक्चर ऑफ दैट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट देर इज़ अ टीम मैनेजमेंट एस्पेक्ट एज वेल, कि इन डिपार्टमेंट तुम्हारे जूनियर्स की बॉन्डिंग इनिशियली कराना तुम्हारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है, बिकॉज लाइक व्हेन दे हैव जॉइंड द डिपार्टमेंट दे डोंट नो ईच अदर, दे डोंट नो यू, बट इफ़ यू एंगेज इन कन्वर्जेशन विद देम एंड लाइक दे विल स्टार्ट टू ओपन अप, दे विल टॉक अमंग्स देमसेल्फ. उसके बाद एट अ स्टेज वो ऑटो पायलट पे चले जाता है कि वो लोग खुद में आपस में बात करके चीज़ें करने लग जाते हैं, एंड यू जस्ट हैव टू टेक अपडेट्स. बट जो इनिशियल आइस ब्रेक करना होता है दैट इज़ समवेयर यू हैव टू प्ले अ रोल. So
like also like as you mentioned, it is more like management stuff also. So does that help in management role if you're applying for like tech
Yes.
management also, these positions?
So like when you are applying for like tech PM or consultancy, these roles value such PORs because they see your leadership skills, they see your problem solving skills. Ki there have been incidences where like a new problem has arrived on spot and you have to tweak your product or tweak your process of working according to that.
And like apart from intra team communication, how do you also collaborate with other costers and all, like because it's a collaborative effort, right? So what, like as you mentioned there were coster meetings, so what are coster meetings, what happened there?
Right. So
And like also how do you make a good bond with everyone, because in case अगर कोई BT हुई बाद में तो they are not like वेदांत का काम तमाम ऐसा
fair
type
enough. मतलब it does happen. Like our work gets started as a, let's say, September December time. तो उसके पहले we used to have meets, we used to hang out, we used to discuss ideas, and discussing ideas about fest with each other helps to develop a mutual respect for everyone in that room कि हाँ, he also has a good amount of ideas which can lead to a better fest. So that's how we started off. In the Costa Meet, I would say what are Costa Meets? Costa Meets are like we decide the entire structure of the fest upon listening to all the clubs, other departments, that what they want to bring to the fest and whether it's possible for us to organize, to manage, to outreach. So in a meet, every department head acts one as the head of the fest जहाँ पे उसे overall fest के decisions लेने हैं. At the same time he has to keep in mind उसके department का काम. I won't take anything जो मैं हैंडल नहीं कर सकता अपने सर पे, क्योंकि जब वो नहीं हो पाया, एक तो फेस्ट फक होगा, दूसरा लाइक फेस्ट वुड मतलब it would impact the fest and it would impact my department as well. So this is something जहाँ पे एक tension build होता है amongst department कि ये काम इसको दे रहे हैं, ये काम इसको दे रहे हैं, ये काम उससे नहीं लेना
तो like back of the mind आपको सोचना पड़ता है,
ये
team
back of
कर
the
पाएगी
mind
कि नहीं.
सोचना पड़ता है and you cannot say directly किसी के मुंह पे कि भाई मैं नहीं करूँगा. At that time you have to be like कि इन issues की वजह से हमारी ये टाइमलाइन है and we won't be able to like incorporate that या technical issue आएगा या कुछ होगा. So that is something you have to tell the other person without pissing them off.
Oh, nice. Like that is a great point. Like it happens a lot. And like as you mentioned, BT arises. So what should one do when such thing happens? Inform other teammates, other costers, or like handle it internally.
So ideally the best thing would be if you are able to think of something on spot कि उस बीटी को कैसे हैंडल करा जा सकता है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, अगर कोई ऐसा डिसीजन है जो पूरे ही डिपार्टमेंट को ओवरऑल इम्पैक्ट करने वाला है, तो इट्स एडवाइसेबल कि तुम अपने जो भी डिसीजन मेकिंग बॉडी है, पीओआर से सारे एक्सकॉम बोलते हैं डीवीएम, you consult that with them and the majority opinion should be considered as the final opinion.
So BITS computer science is quite famous. So what are your opinions on the BITS CS degree and the job market in general?
Okay, so BITS ki CS degree is very good, it's quite famous. The courses in the curriculum are like very relevant. The only thing I find, which is very fair considering the degree is computer science, it is more targeted, more oriented towards mathematics involved behind computer science, and like it, I'd say, intrigues more people who are interested in research field rather than IT segment particularly.
Okay.
कि writing code and knowing the working behind your entire computer is a very different thing. So it's good for a developer to have that knowledge कि तुम्हारा system work कैसे करता है internally, but it's not kind of necessary for a developer to know.
So it is more like the courses are more like research oriented.
Research oriented. Core subjects which are asked in interviews that are like DBMS, OS, computer networks, OOPS. These are very good courses as a part of the computer science degree, क्योंकि ये करने के बाद you don't need to do anything extra. तुमने उसके बारे में जितना पढ़ना होता था, you have studied in your courses and that helps in interviews as well.
Okay. So and like there is also the tier 1 college BITS CS, so that value also plays in the job market. Like tier 1 CS versus like tier 2, tier 3 college computer science, because courses are more or less the same, but there is a tag difference.
Okay. So the only advantage this tag gives you is the vast alumni network that BITS Pilani has, and secondly, this tag in the market attracts certain companies at, I'd say, a little bit greater CTC, or certain specific companies which only come to tier 1 colleges. Apart from that, the 0% attendance policy gives you more freedom to explore your interests and to develop your skills. Nevertheless, it is not so कि तुम tier 2 या tier 3 कॉलेज में होके ये सेम चीज़ नहीं कर सकते. BITS only facilitates you to reach this path easier. But अगर तुम थोड़ा ज़्यादा amount of hard work डालते हो being in a tier 2 or tier 3 college, you apply off campus, you take time out of your classes or regular curriculum and develop your skills, work upon your skills, then easily it won't make any difference.
Okay, cool. So, like when you're also recruiting in the team, right? So, what if there are two candidates? One is vibing with your culture but has a little more less skill, but the other one has very high skill but he's not a vibe check.
Okay.
So, what will you choose?
So in BITS, the department culture is highly governed by the vibe factor, because like initial days may you take interactions, you talk to people, you like some insights about that person, you like some opinions about that person, you feel that guy will fit in well with my batches or his batches as a part of the department, और उस department का culture ही उस तरीके से shape हो जाता है. But when you are in a टेक डिपार्टमेंट जहाँ पे लेस देन सॉफ्ट स्किल्स और हार्ड स्किल्स मैटर मोर, it is not a black and white case there. However, personal preference मुझे लगता है कि coding या tech is something which a guy can learn if he gets a better environment, if he gets the environment which he likes. So I'd personally prefer someone who vibes and might have little less technical knowledge. Once he is recruited, he'll mix with the department culture well, he'll talk to his peers, he'll talk to his seniors, he'll learn more out of
Curiosity.
not just curiosity, he'll feel motivated कि यार मेरे साथ ये जो 10 लोग हैं, 12 लोग हैं, 20 लोग हैं, ये लोग लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा कर रहे हैं, एंड लाइक दे हैव लर्न सो मच थ्रू आउट, तो मेरे को भी सीखना चाहिए, एंड he'll start learning, he'll start becoming better. And I've seen examples where people with lesser skills have like overcome that barrier and still a part of the department, whereas the people which we took कि हाँ इसमें skill है, शायद vibe match नहीं होगी, they left as a
In between.
like in between.
Okay. And also, as we are talking about the vibe check, there is question like, do managers favor a person who is constantly, uski chart raya and all, apart from that one employee who is just doing his work and nothing related to the manager stuff and all,
Yeah.
buttering and all.
So speaking from college perspective, like if I notice, managers obviously do notice कि this is being unnecessarily वैसा like yes sir guy, वो काम नहीं करता but वो दिखाता है कि वो काम कर रहा है. So these are the things, if we as students can notice, obviously managers can notice, and it's not seen in a very brighter side. I would prefer someone who like does vibe with me, does talk to me, but at the same time I shouldn't have any complaints about his work ethic or like the quality of work he does.
In Fest, like it is all governed by students only. So do Costons also manage the monetary stuff also of the Fest?
Okay.
And how is it go? How does it go like?
Okay, the monetary stuff of the fest is the responsibility entirely of one person, the cost and finance, who is also the president of the students union.
Okay.
However, this process is not centralized. There is a body, CRC, Collaborative and Review Committee. Those guys keep a check on all the tender dealings or financial dealings that the cost and finance or the rest of the Costa do, just to maintain transparency. And these bodies like directly reporting to the SWD, जो जहाँ से like the entire budget वगैरह comes, accounts and all. So ऐसा नहीं है कि एक बंदे के हाथ में सब कुछ है. It's like a back and forth thing कि president CRC को check में रखता है, CRC president को check में रखता है, and they in turn keep the cost in check.
One more question, like in the AI boom also, like, and you are pursuing your job also. So what is the culture of vibe coding? Is it happening? Is it going to replace developers?
See, one downside which I see of vibe coding throughout my 4 years of college is
4 years, like it introduced in like 2020.
Yeah, but it wasn't very famous उस वक्त. मतलब जब मैं थर्ड ईयर में आया
हाँ.
तब चैट जीपीटी ज़्यादा यूज़ होने लगा.
हाँ,
When we were in our workforce tenure, जैसे सेकेंड ईयर 2021 2022 वाला
हाँ.
जो फेज था,
उस टाइम पे नहीं था.
AI था, but it was ओपन एयर. चैट जीपीटी तो नहीं था for sure. And like जो भी था वो it was under research, it was under development. इतने like वाइड स्प्रेड लोगों के पास एक्सेस नहीं था ये चीज़ करने का.
ये नहीं पता.
तो व्हेन वी यूज्ड टू डू डेव, हमारे साथ डॉक्स वगैरह पढ़ने बोला जाता था, एंड द एंटायर लाइक मैंने यूनिटी का मैनुअल काफ़ी हद तक पढ़ रखा है पूरे का पूरा. एंड आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ माई बैचेस जो डिफरेंट वर्टिकल्स में कोड करते हैं दे यूज टू डू देयर डेवलपमेंट फ्रॉम डॉक्यूमेंटेशन विच इज़ अ वेरी गुड प्रैक्टिस. तुम्हारे बैच में एंड लाइक 22 बैच में जब मैं सीख रहा हूँ आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट वाइब कोडिंग. इवन नाउ आई यूज वाइब कोडिंग ऐसे कि मेरा प्रोजेक्ट करना है मुझे, आई नो स्टफ बट मुझे जल्दी से खत्म करके देना है, आई हैव वेरी लेस टाइम ऑन माई हैंड्स. तो इन सब चीज़ों में ठीक है. देर इज़ अ फंक्शन विच आई हैव रिटन लाइक 1,000 टाइम्स और वो हर चीज़ में यूज़ होता ही है. तो लाइक आई विल मेक ChatGPT और कर्सर राइट दैट फंक्शन फॉर मी. बट जब तुम सीख रहे होते हो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू डेवलप योर ब्रेन इन अ मैनर कि तुम्हें सारी चीज़ें समझ आ रही है. ईच एंड एवरी लाइन ऑफ कोड विच यू आर राइटिंग यू नो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज हैपनिंग एट द बैक एंड ऑफ इट. सो ये चीज़ मैं देख रहा हूँ शायद थोड़ा सा हिल रहा है कॉलेज में एंड पीपल आर स्टार्टिंग टू डू द रिक्रूटमेंट टास्क यूजिंग AI वगैरह.
बट लाइक दैट वो काफी इजीली हम लोगों ने भी इंटरव्यूज लिए तो
काफी एविडेंट है तुम जब इंटरव्यूज लेते हो
वो नहीं बता पाते
नहीं बता पाते हैं.
एंड लाइक जब एरर्स आएंगे तो फिर लाइक दे कॉपी पेस्ट होल एरर एंड सेंड इन द व्हाट्सएप.
भाई ऑन दिस नोट people used to actually read through Stack Overflow के सारे चीज़ें. now there is only error copy paste in ChatGPT, वो तुम्हें लाके दे देगा, you do that fix it. उसके बाद further errors आते हैं तुम करते जाते हो. sometimes it leads to ऐसा infinite error loop जो सॉल्व नहीं हो पाता.
हाँ वो फिर लाइक स्टक हो जाता है फिर
क्योंकि
यू
AI
नीड टू
अभी
रीड द एरर.
उस लेवल पे पहुंचा नहीं है शायद.
हाँ
So these are the things. तो तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए कि how like actually it works to be able to vibe code. If you start with vibe coding, that's a very bad start for your career as well.
But like if you have some knowledge how the whole the back end works, like vibe code करो, जल्दी से project बनाओ, client को दो, पैसे लो,
खत्म करो.
So I guess it was great talking with Vedant Vyas. Thank you for coming to the podcast.